Well, what the frickety-dickety have I been doing with my life so far? I genuinely don't know. I feel like I can barely recall what I did last year, or even last week, let alone the past 5 or 10 years. Maybe it's all this brain fog, maybe it's too much time spent on YouTube Shorts just doom scrolling. See, I start things, whether it's habits or routines or projects, and then I give up on them after a while, or I just kind of peter out and stop doing it. Like, it doesn't really stick, right? I guess the big thing, which is this whole pursuing art as a career online, well, you know, I lost a lot of creative passion when I was trying too hard on social media like Instagram and TikTok that I just ended up feeling burnt out. I just stopped doing it altogether, felt undisciplined to manage like my whole doom scrolling problem. And that was like a year ago. I haven't posted on Instagram in a really long time. It just started to feel like it was just artificial. Trying to get a viral reel or TikTok and chasing the numbers, the data, I was falling down that mindset of pursuing more and more numbers. It's like my self-worth was being attached to how many likes or followers I got. Yet, I remember my first channel I ever started on YouTube. I was creating Sims machinima. Do you remember those? Especially the real viral one, you know, the barbecue one. Yeah, I was part of that whole industry, if you want to call it. So essentially, I was telling stories through The Sims 2. That's how it all started for me, was telling stories and creating characters, and then it eventually got into drawing and stuff. I managed to reach high numbers in views and subs there, at least for that time and whatnot, and in that community, but it never equaled the same in likes or comments, and I really loved comments. When I started my art journey on DeviantArt, gosh, so many years ago now, I'm pretty sure over 10 years ago, I also gained a good amount of watchers and likes because starting out I did fan art. But it was the comments that mattered most to me. It was my fuel to keep going. I mean, that was like my nectar. Even on my silly fanfics I used to post in high school, I used to hold the next chapter hostage unless I got a certain amount of comments, because people's thoughts, their feedback, whether they love it or hate it, that did something to me. It felt more tangible that people are really interacting with my goofy ideas. When I started my first webtoon, I got farther than I thought I would, and with really long episodes, like over 30 panels. Do you know how hard it is to do 30 panels? I don't even know how I was doing that back then as a beginner. I can't even do that now. It's hard. I was like clinging on for dear life onto the sweet feedback and comments that those episodes would receive. And to this day, I have taken screenshots of comments that I've received and I hold on to them. You know, I really love them. I guess I just have realized that I value insight more than I value numbers. I value community more than I value monetary support. But how do you balance that? Do I give up the idea that I could make a living off this? Off producing art or YouTube videos or webcomics, what have you, right? I don't hustle hard enough to warrant the justification that I can make a full-time income off of it. But hustling on it just never felt right to me. Everywhere that I did gain a lot of numbers were areas I just enjoyed doing it. And what kept me going was the comments more than the numbers altogether. So in the end, numbers don't matter, at least not for me. I'd rather follow passion than to follow numbers. But at the end of the day, passion doesn't guarantee money. Now I understand the whole notion of the starving artist. You can be an artist, but to earn money, you also have to be an entrepreneur, an influencer, a salesman, and marketer, yada yada. You can absolutely be a successful artist, but can you also be a successful influencer and entrepreneur? Can you balance all of that? 2 or 3 years ago, I created a business plan fully intent on starting an art shop or business where I'd sell stickers and prints and subscription boxes full of goodies and art stuff, whatever, right? But then I started learning about taxes and shipping and handling and storing all this stuff, and I just became overwhelmed, and suddenly I was not very fond of the idea anymore. I don't really like the idea of being a business person full-time all the time, because firstly, I am a creative person. I don't want to sell something. I want to inspire something. I want to start a revolution of new ideas and creative passion in the pursuit of a love for turning nothing into something. To take raw ingredients and turn it into something others could love and be inspired by, that's magic. That's alchemy. I want to be an alchemist. Like, I'm okay now with letting go of the prospects of earning a 6-digit income off of my art or all this social media stuff, because I'm clearly not suited to follow the traditional path towards that kind of success. What even is success? Why does someone else's success have to be mine? Why does it have to look the same? Because I value totally different things, and I want to do so many kinds of things that I can't just sit here and pick one and do that the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I can't, and I won't. If I die starving and broke, so be it. At least I had fun going on multiple adventures throughout my life and trying things even if it got nowhere. It is stressful, yes. We live in a world where the bare minimum is even hard to grasp, and most of us are just surviving at this point. But I don't need my dream to earn me a living anymore. I won't keep holding my passion for creating things and learning things and trying new things to be responsible for my well-being anymore. In fact, doing so only made me resentful, and I lost a lot of that initial spark and childlike wonder I had in the start. If anything comes from it, great. And if not, that's okay too. Point is, I don't know what I've been doing with my life lately, let alone the past 10 years, but I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore. I'm not going to feel bad that I'm not living up to my full potential and being a productive member of society. It's all subjective. I'm fortunate to be content with my job. It is very fulfilling. I am a library director, and some parts of the job I do dread. But others I really love. It doesn't pay well, but I get to come home and choose how to spend my time. I can sit down and work on a YouTube video, or I can work on my webcomic, or read, or try something totally new. Lately, I've been thinking of dabbling in 3D modeling, or pixel art, or creating music. I don't know, honestly, my passion for community and knowledge and creation, I've realized it sort of flows into my day job as well. I've done a lot for our tiny library that I'm very proud of, and just like my love for comments, I get to interact with people in real time who either they've seen the difference I've made in the library, or they'll compliment me or compliment what the library has been doing. And you know what more can I ask for, really? The world is uncertain right now and full of chaos and greed, and I'm not going to add more greed to that. Chaos? Maybe. Okay, editor 𝒸𝒶𝓅𝓉𝓄𝓈 here to refine a more cohesive conclusion, since I sort of rambled towards the end here. This isn't about escaping the rat race in order to pursue your dreams and passions and then, struggling to pay bills. The point of all this is that I realized there is a difference between pursuing your dream and passion in order to someday profit off them versus pursuing profit off the back of your dream and passion. And lines can get blurred very fast between them. I didn't become resentful of the challenge of pursuing my dream. I became resentful of the clout chase and the first thought of, will this go viral? Will this make me money? Whenever I wanted to just create something. Numbers began to come first, and that was hurting my passion. I'm just personally not creatively motivated by money or numbers, but that doesn't mean money or numbers don't motivate me at all. I love a challenge, I love the journey of creating and pursuing my goals, but I have to redefine what success looks and means to me now without feeling guilty and ashamed that I'm not where I want to be or making enough that I like to be making. The point is that we should not feel ashamed for being in the rat race while also still pursuing other goals or passions or hobbies, because not everyone has to make a full-time living off of their hobbies. And not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. This is just something I had to learn after years of not really getting anywhere and feeling ashamed about it and feeling like I just constantly failed or sabotaged myself because I was measuring what my success had to look like based off the same measurements of other people's success. Therefore, I'd rather pursue passion over numbers in regards to any kind of endeavor I'm currently invested in, using measurements of what I now define to be success for me. Overall, just trying to balance the pursuit of passion and the pursuit of wealth or achievements, etc. It's not our fault that we're stuck in the rat race, it's the system. I guess this is just my tiny way of rebelling against it. I have my day job. I love solving problems within the library and finding ways to do something more efficient, and especially helping out patrons that come into the library. I'm also a contracted co-author with a really fabulous independent artist and are now pursuing their own passion project. Even that has been very fulfilling. I feel so honored to be trusted with fleshing out their story, their characters, and being able to produce something through my writing and through the scripts. It just feels so rewarding to be within the progress of it all and actually feeling the enjoyment of the journey rather than only waiting to get to the end result. I guess the simplest way that I can put this is that if I died tomorrow, I'd be content with the life I've lived and the achievements I've made so far. I'm just working on letting go of these very harsh expectations I have of myself and feeling ashamed that I will maybe never live up to it, because I'm just now realizing that those were never really my own expectations to begin with. It was always someone else's. Anyways, that's that. This is a kind of part of a little series I'm going to try and start doing to help encourage me to post weekly. I'm calling it Tangent Tuesdays. Essentially where I go off on a tangent, just talking about literally whatever's on my mind at the current moment. And obviously I've been thinking a little bit been thinking a lot about this. So this is what came up today. I'm just a bit too much of a perfectionist when it comes to trying to create like long form videos. I've always loved it, always wanted to do it, and I never minded the shorts. I enjoyed doing it at first. I wasn't one that complained about it. I just don't like the grind mindset. It's just not for me. I don't know. I've tried over and over again to adopt the whole, pursuing your dreams and being determined and hustling for it and working hard for it. There's just something with my brain, I guess. I don't know. I'm continuing to go on a tangent here, and I really don't want to, because that'll probably be for a whole reflection log. I've got a reflection log series that takes more effort because it's a lot deeper reflections, or it's evaluating myself or evaluating things that I did. I think the last one I did was how I was adopting Obsidian into my workflow. It was 4 days with Obsidian. That actually got a lot of views, which was kind of scary. I think that's a whole other thing. I'm actually scared of maybe this could work out and then I'd have a lot of responsibility. But yeah, I mean, I'm a complicated person. I've been in therapy trying to evaluate myself and analyze myself and just kind of accept myself. And so here we are. Yeah, I think that's all. I'm gonna go. And I will, leave you with that. And I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.